हेलो एवरीवन, गुड मॉर्निंग। आज हम करेंगे यूनिट 5, अनीता देसाई's कंट्रीब्यूशन टू इंडियन इंग्लिश फिक्शन। इसमें हम करेंगे डिटेल स्टोरी लाइन ऑफ पार्ट 4। सेकंड इसका जो वीडियो होगा उसमें इमेजरी करेंगे इन क्लियर लाइट ऑफ डे, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। एंड दास जो उनके नेबर्स हैं अलीज एंड मिश्रा, उनके बारे में बात करेंगे। फिर बाद में अनीता देसाई's कंट्रीब्यूशन टू इंडियन इंग्लिश फिक्शन करेंगे। तो लेट अस स्टार्ट विद डिटेल स्टोरी लाइन ऑफ पार्ट 4 ऑफ क्लियर लाइट ऑफ डे। Part 4 begins with the dust storm raging outside, which is symbolic of the storm in the Das family and in the nation. The two sisters are busy. Tara was trying to write a letter to her daughters before their arrival in India. Bim was concentrating on her college work. Tara wanted Bim and her to put their papers aside and sit in a companionable companionable dusk. मॉर्निंग का टाइम है, एंड शी वॉज कीन दैट बिम accompany her husband and children to Raja's daughter's wedding in हैदराबाद। वो चाहती है, तारा चाहती है, छोटी बहन जो है वो चाहती है कि बिम भी हैदराबाद जाए अपने भाई की बेटी की शादी में। बिम refuses but Tara persists saying that she should attend the wedding. In this section we get details about Raja's married life. He had, राजा जो है भाई है उनका, he has 4 daughters, a son Ayaz. A reference is also made in this section about a visit Raja had made with his family to Bim and Baba. The B episode which was mentioned earlier, B episode हमने पहले भी किया है ना, लोधी गार्डन में, is raked up by तारा। तारा उसके बारे में बात करती है। She feels guilty for having abandoned her sister when the bees attacked her. तारा wanted to ask Bim for forgiveness. वो उससे माफ़ी मांगती है। गिल्टी फीलिंग है तारा को बहुत ज़्यादा कि बिम को उसने उस टाइम लोधी गार्डन में छोड़ दिया था जब बीज ने उस पर अटैक किया था। बिम्स फीलिंग ऑफ रिजेक्शन बाय हर फैमिली सरफेसेस इन दिस सेक्शन। एक सेक्शन बताया हुआ है इस बुक में जिससे पता चलता है कि वो कितनी परेशान है, बिम कितनी परेशान है, कितना उसको रिजेक्ट किया गया है, तो वो उस वजह से परेशान है। नाउ आई एम रीडिंग द सेक्शन। All these years, she had felt herself to be the center. She had watched them all circling in the air, then returning, landing like birds, folding up their wings and letting down their legs till they touched solid ground. Solid ground, that was what the house had been. The lawn, the rose walk, the guava trees, the veranda, Bim's domain. They had needed her as much as they had needed the sound of the pigeons in the veranda and the ritual of the family gathering on the lawn in the evening. So, it is in this section that a letter arrives from one Mr. Sharma who works in the Das office requesting one of the Das children to attend an important meeting which will determine the future of the firm. Bim feels helpless and expresses a desire to sell the family shares. Tara asks her to consult the other family members before taking any hasty step. Bim gets furious, बहुत गुस्सा आता है उसको, that Raja has abandoned his family responsibilities and left her to cope with all the problems. She eventually takes out her anger against Baba. तो वो बाबा के पास जाती है और उसने किस तरह से एंगर इसमें एक्सप्रेस किया है ना, एक सेक्शन दिया है पूरा। All afternoon her anger swelled and spread, acquiring demonic proportions. मतलब उसको बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा आ जाता है। It was like the summer itself, rising to its peak, or like the mercury in the barometer that hung on the veranda wall, swelling and bulging and glinting. Then Baba played डोंट फेंस मी इन वंस टू ऑफन, ये सॉन्ग वो प्ले करता है। इट वॉज वॉट बिम नीडेड टू ब्रेक हर इन टू, चाहती है कि तोड़ दे उसको। शी इज़ फुल ऑफ एंगर, क्लचिंग at her throat, she strode into his room and jerking the needle head of the record से वो उसकी नीडल होती है ना उसको हटा देती है, ट्विस्टेड बैक द आर्म्स In the silence that kept like a wound left by a tooth that has been pulled, she said in a loud, loose voice, I want to have a talk with you, Baba. You will have to leave that off and listen to me. And sitting down in a canvas chair by his bed, she rattled down a straight line aimed at Baba, shocked and confused before her, like a train racing down a line driven by a mad driver. She could not look at Baba's widening eyes, more white than black, as she rattled on, straight at him, because he was the target she had chosen to hit, and hit and hit. She was telling him of her idea of selling their share of the firm to Sharma, using that as a line on which to run. शर्मा जो थे ना वो उनके पार्टनर थे, बिजनेस पार्टनर थे. If I sell, then she says, if I sell, it will mean the end of that part of our income. It was too small to count anyway, but it did cover some of the expenses. With my salary, I will be able to pay the rent, keep on the house. I will manage, but I might have to send you to live with Raja. I came to ask you, what would you think of that? She was hitting the target now, hitting and hitting it. Are you willing to go and live with Raja in Hyderabad? Then Bim's rage, गुस्सा जो था, was spent at last. It had reached its peak, like like a great glittering wave that had hovered over everyone and that now collapsed, fell on the sand and seeped away, leaving nothing but a soggy shadow in the shape of Baba's silence. ये इस तरह से बात की जा रही है कि जैसे गुस्सा उनका बढ़ा, बिम का गुस्सा बढ़ा और वो ख़त्म भी हो गया, जैसे कि समुद्र की लहरें होती हैं ना, आती हैं और फिर थोड़ा सा कुछ लेके चली जाती हैं और फिर शांत हो जाती हैं. It is after this episode that Bim realizes that it is her own inadequacy which makes her attack the innocent and defenseless. बाद में उसको बुरा भी लगता है कि उसने इतना गुस्सा किया बाबा पर she admits that I myself haven't been able to manage on my own. This realization makes her achieve a spiritual wholeness by accepting and loving people for what they are. In clear light of day, she sees that the soil contained all time, past and future in it. It was where her deepest self lived, and the selves of her sister and brothers, and all those who shared their time with her. It is this realization that also makes her find her own social relevance. चलो ये पार्ट अभी ख़त्म होता है, नेक्स्ट वीडियो में इमेजरी को हम करेंगे. थैंक यू सो मच. प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब माई चैनल.